You've entered the Alchemist Archive, where inner work meets outer impact, and the creators who are shaping what's next.
Well, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Matt.
Yeah, I love this photo behind you.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite painters. Her name is Ola. I'll have to send her to you on Instagram. She's amazing.
So we met at the Heartland Gathering. Well, actually, did we officially meet at the Heartland Gathering? I don't.
Didn't officially meet, but I did see you walking around.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Were you the one that had set that tent up?
Yes. Yeah, the Casa Akasha. So I went with my housemate, one of my best friends. She has a brand for tea, smokes. Kind of, she brings not Moroccan, they're Turkish lounges, and we just set up like gypsy dens where you serve tea and smoke herbs, like they're like organic tobacco, little cigarettes. And
why didn't I hang out there more? Dang it.
It was fun. So she gets invited. She's friends with Omani, so she gets invited to bring her setup. It's fun.
Nice. Very cool.
She does that sometimes, and I joined her because I'd never been to Heartland Gathering. I was like, I'll come. I would love to come.
Yeah, that was my first time going as well. So it was amazing.
Yeah, it's a really fun, intentional place. The quality of people there were amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I had, out of that, I somehow found you on Instagram. I probably connecting with all the people there and started seeing you in my algorithm. And I just loved the things that you talk about and the topics that you talk about on your, the things you stand behind. And I love the place from which you talk and see things with regard to masculine, feminine, relationship, groundedness, all of that, safety. So I had reached out and said, hey, I am also very big into, being a stand for this topic and people's, energetic sovereignty and power. Would you like to do a podcast? So here we are. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a pleasure. I'm glad we're doing this. Yeah, I really feel that you could feel the transmission. The more I've done this work and the more I understand about it, the more trust I have in that, because everything is energy. Energy just kind of is always finding what is resonant. And so when something just kind of comes my way, whether it's intense for me or like it triggers something in me that doesn't feel I have capacity for, anything that comes my way, I'm like, oh, this is for me in some way. What is going on? Like, what is this? How is this coherent? And when you came my way, I was like, oh my God, like, yeah, totally. I totally see why I was paying attention to you, even though we were not talking in Nebraska. I was like,
yeah, totally.
There was a resonance to what we understand. And we were
there's always deeper levels of embodiment, but I feel
wanting to know.
Yeah. So just a quick, actually, do you want to tell me a little bit about your background first and how your journey and how you arrived at like what you're doing and who you are in the world now?
Great. Yeah. So, gosh. So where do I begin? It's interesting to put labels on things, but I had a really rough upbringing. And in that, I got set up with, I don't know if it was the upbringing, like nurture versus nature kind of thing, but a mix of both, unquenchable desire that I didn't quiet down to understand myself deeper, specifically through the vein what Eros and life force is. It was the way for me to understand or choose my life. So my birth was really traumatic. My childhood was really traumatic. It was very painful to be in my body for many different reasons. Autoimmune issues, very mentally ill mother who did not have capacity for attunement. And so because of it, I was always kind of dissociating and miserable in my body. Eczema and just all these things that were just like, I was always like this, And then all of a sudden I discovered masturbation. And in masturbation, it was like I was having an appointment with the thing that everybody talked about called God. I was like, I'm meeting the thing, I think, every time that I do this, I didn't understand that there was anything shameful about it until somebody noticed that I was touching myself, like my mother or anybody, adults, and they were like, what are you doing? You can't do this,
Yeah, exactly.
Try to shame me for it.
Story of shame. Yeah.
Right. And there was some shame because I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, this is like literally the only time that I am not wanting to exit my body because everything else feels like completely misattuned. Like, I don't want to exist in this world. And so it made me hyperfixate in what that energy was and what it brought out of me and what it made me do when I was understanding myself there. And
Mm.
through that, I had amazing and painful, crazy experiences growing up. And because of my trauma and the people around me that experienced a lot of pain as well, both coming from Venezuela, having siblings that were being raised in the same household, and in my own pain, I dove into somatic healing, nervous system regulation, Tantra, BDSM, everything, that is life, to
Yeah.
understand deeper energy exchanges and what it really means, the spiritual nature of living through the body. And I
Yeah.
just that just like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Yeah.
I
You
just,
went on like an exploratory mission
yeah.
once you kind of got grasped
And
hold
it's
of
been
like the,
nonstop. It's been nonstop since I
wow,
was 3 years
cool.
old. But the service, I guess I've been of service since then. I taught like all the friends in my building, girls, how to masturbate.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah, hiding from the adults, we're like, let's all have like girl time. We're like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
learn how to do this. This is gonna be your saving grace. And the adults don't like it, I'll
Yeah.
say it was kind of like that. But I just been kind of like this teacher of Eros my whole life. In a very playful, strangely enough, sisterly way, kind of like, this is safe, you should know.
Yeah.
I'll be your like unshaming buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Even the comment you made just now about like adults don't like this, so we have to be secret about it. That's a shame, back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a thing, and I mentioned it before, and I've talked to even my mother about it. I remember thinking, so I talked to a child development doctor many, many years later when I was an adult through my training, and she told me that children are usually, they usually question their parents' authority when they're like 11 or 12.
Mm.
I questioned it very early on, because of the mental illness, because of the pain and the torture and the dissonance. I was just like, usually a child would look at a parent and just feel like it's their fault. I felt that way, like your misery is my fault because they are like our God, right? But there's
Yeah.
something that I knew, something I figured out in that space of Eros and meeting God through my body when my mother was so dissonant from hers that I was like, you don't get something I am understanding here.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you are not tapping into this, like and I remember actually trying to negotiate, not negotiate, but I was just like, you would be so much happier if you could do the thing that I'm doing here. And she couldn't figure it out.
If only, yeah.
I came to
Super.
understand many years later as an adult, because I do this work now and I'm kind of like her coach now,
Yeah.
that she had never really understood orgasms. She never felt them. She never knew.
Mm.
So of course she had no idea what I was experiencing. All she knew was the shame of it. And
Yeah.
it's very painful. And yeah, that's the short version of my training. I've gone through many different schools of thought and training.
Yeah. For many years, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, many, many years. And then I've
Yeah.
been doing the work that I do, which is somatic, trauma-informed somatic and emotional intelligence coaching and guidance and mentorships. And
Okay.
it's 3.5 years.
For women or for men and women?
For both men and
Okay.
women, couples of
Yeah.
all ages. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mostly the bulk of my clients is, I mean, I'm done from right, like right now I have one of my clients is 22, but that's very seldom are they ready to be in that space to
Mm.
navigate and commit to their work. The bulk of my clients are from 30 to 65, but I have a 70-year-old client. So, there's
Okay.
like
Yeah.
range.
Outliers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing when somebody's like wanting to be curious about what more there is out there. So it's
Yeah.
funny. I have a very similar story upbringing as you. Autoimmune disorders, allergies, GI issues. Like my body was just a wreck. My whole upbringing, my whole childhood. I would get severe bronchitis every year, breathing machines, all of that. And then I started I found my way to immunotherapy, which is the medical side, but then I started diving deep into my, introspective journey or spiritual journey, whatever you want to call it, getting to know myself deeper and clearing out the stories and traumas back in 2011.
Nice.
And that actually had a very big part of clearing all of this out of my physical body. And
Mhm.
a lot of people don't resonate with or would understand or accept that as a possible way to heal your physical body, but it's absolutely correlated to what I have become now, which is just like I'm 46 years old. I feel 25. My body is as healthy as it's ever been. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, how did
Healthier
I?
than ever.
Yeah, exactly. How did I discover this magic pill?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
is the way that I feel about it is like the more that I've gotten into this work, I understand the like the mindset part is it is the mind, right? So the mind is deciding something that then gets transmuted through the body and it becomes our manifestation. And I, when The Secret came out, way back when, 20 years ago, I remember being like, yeah, like I get it, like I don't get it. And
yeah.
like I got the concept, but the more I've done this work, even deciding to speak to my water and to change, like
Mm,
once you decide to go super clean with everything that you consume and touch and put in your body, and like I am 100% toxin free. Like I don't do anything like
wow.
from colognes, perfumes, anything with lotions to like all organic foods. I mean, like I don't touch toxins if I can avoid them.
Yeah.
Uh, and there's things that we won't be able to avoid, right? We're out exposed to nature, I mean, in the world, but because of it, I've been kind of paying attention to how much you can try to just control your entire environment, and it's the intentionality and your awareness about how the energy that grew something or that created something is the thing that is merging with yours and
Exactly.
then mixing and creating a physical manifestation of you. And so I'm like, okay, so if that's the case, then how aware am I moment to moment of my energy input and output? Like, what is that? How present am I with myself
Mm,
in the exchange of energy between me and anything? And that's ultimately the coming to presence thing that we're constantly escaping. It's like, can I become aware of I'm always escaping the present moment?
yes. Yeah. I presence is the key. Like, and the more you can, discover, this is the kind of some of the work I do is help people identify subconscious beliefs that are running the show. And all of them are tied to an emotion or a story we're holding on to. And the
Hmm.
more of those you can go discover about yourself and then take action to clear them out, the more presence you naturally starts to unfold. And and then when you consume something or something doesn't resonate, your body will tell you instantly. Like my body, I can eat something that I think is clean and organic or something, and my stomach or something will tell me instantly, like, oh, there was some ingredient in there that is
Yeah,
no bueno. Like
right.
yeah.
Yes,
And and a lot of times I will, like, I'm an ingredient reading fanatic at the grocery store
that's
if
good.
I'm looking at new products, but
I mean, it's intentional. It's like,
restaurants.
what am I bringing in?
Yeah,
Am I
exactly.
present with the thing that I'm bringing in?
Yeah,
Like every
exactly.
single time. There's these things that have become like mantras. Like if I'm drinking something, I'm immediately saying like every gulp is a prayer, and
Yeah.
I don't even think about it anymore. I'm just like I'm gulping, and if somebody's talking to me, I'm like saying the thing that I talk to the water whilst I'm gulping. I'm like my body's already doing because I've been doing it for so many years, and
Wow. Just automatic.
I don't know. I'm like
Incredible.
I'm just like I need to like I'm just like I actually need to just be with this gulp right now because
Yeah.
even though I'm talking to someone, so there's an awareness of, like you said, like the ingredients. It's like, well, when you think about sovereignty, your sovereignty is your presence.
Yes.
Your sovereignty is your true attention. Like,
Yeah. Your
what
presence
are,
with yourself.
yes. It's
Yeah.
like, people are like, oh, like, I'm fighting for my sovereignty. It's like, well, where is your attention? You know,
Yeah, it's a great inquiry.
like, they
Yeah.
have your attention. You're giving away your sovereignty.
Right.
Where do you want your attention to be? Where is it
Hmm.
actually? Why? What are you getting out of telling somebody else they have your sovereignty? Like,
Right.
take it back. It's a moment to moment thing. You're sovereign right now if you want it. And to face that within ourselves, that's been the biggest thing because I used to be the queen with reason. I used to be the queen of poor me because
Mm.
my upbringing, I was so victimized by my mother's story, not having a father until I was 8, wanting to find significance, not feeling attuned to. So of course you're like a little baby who's supposed to be given significance for being special and for not doing nothing. Just like you exist, you're wonderful. But because
Right.
that was not the case, we start grasping. We're like, who am I? Like, give me a sense of self. And I was in so much pain and so victimized that I just got into this like, I am nothing, like everything, like nothing's gonna go well for me.
Yeah,
And
no one's here for me.
no one's here for me.
Yeah.
Except I had the opposite of that feeling constantly being proven by having a twin sister and a young brother who, while chaos was ensuing, we would regulate each other, co-regulate, and that was
Oh,
life.
wow.
That
Okay.
was life-saving. That was really I think the only thing that kept me from killing myself in childhood.
Wow.
And they're my best friends. And now we are our mother's supporters, regulators. Like my mother is a toddler, she always was. She's evolving now because of the love we've been able to give her. And I think that
Mm,
this, yeah, like I said, like the attention piece came in later. I was just like, and it's been in layers. Like it wasn't until the last 3.5 years. And really, if I'm honest, until the last year and a half that I've come out of one of the largest, like intricate layers of poor me mentality, where I
yeah.
was just like, I really want somebody to feel sorry for me. I want to
How
admit
did
it
you discover that, or how did you
through one
have
of
that breakthrough?
the biggest heartbreak of my life. Like
Okay.
really wanting to work with someone who is not available and feeling so rejected that it touched the thing that I felt in childhood in a way, like my familiar chaos, in a way that I hadn't touched with anybody else.
Yeah.
And feeling that rejected and then realizing that I still wanted to live made me realize that I have always chosen my life, that I don't have to wait
Mm,
for someone to come save me from my despair. I was like,
right.
wait,
Yeah.
I'm
That,
here, I'm in despair, and I still want to live.
yeah. That's, that to me is what energetic sovereignty is. You're not looking outside of yourself to fill anything
Right.
for you. And when the goal is that when you can achieve operating from that place, and then you're so deeply aware and embodied in how beautiful and perfect and powerful your whole completeness is. And then you're choosing who you want to share that energy with in a
Yes.
beautiful way. That is like so fucking yummy and sexy. And this is the best type of connection that is possible, I think.
I completely agree.
It's the goal. And then this is a big part of like what I intend to help teach people and talk about is the connection without ownership, attachment, ownership energy. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh
Like,
my
because that,
gosh. So yeah, I'm trying to understand that what is like the thing that we're all indoctrinated into that came from safety and resources and having to like,
yes,
become a more coherent society that like take care, to stay together for the children. And then what's the tribe? What is tribe? And but like what is attachment and what is, because there's this like romanticism around like you're mine, I'm yours. But I think, it comes from the fear that we're actually alone and that nobody can save us from the journey of being in our bodies and that we are born alone and die alone. And
right,
longing to just be like held, forever chosen.
yeah, yeah,
And there can be like, you can romanticize the idea and live some threads of that, but as long as you can really sit in the throne of truth,
mm,
that it is an illusion and that
right,
in the end we have to face our own aloneness. And that's like it's a stretch, it's a capacity issue. Like you just kind of have to be like feeling the threads. And like we enter a relationship with implicit agreements around like, you're gonna save me from my loneliness and I'm gonna
yeah,
attempt to save you. And like, if you don't, fuck you kind of thing, you know?
yeah, yeah. And it just creates so much turmoil
Yeah.
and safety and all of the things. Like it's yeah, it's like so I was married many years ago and got divorced 10 or 11 years ago. And at that moment, I was like, wow, I have my entire life, I have gone from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. I've never like had this single have fun type of experience, like a lot of my friends have, and yada yada. And so when I got divorced, I said, I'm going to force myself to stay single for at least 1 year. And yes, I'll have fun if I, be flirty or whatever, but I'm not going to do relationship for at least 1 year because I want to see what type of growth is available for me in that. And holy shit, like that 1 year turned into 2 years. What I got connected to when I stayed in the discomfort for my ego of not having someone there to show me attention and to love and to cuddle and all of that, I got past that part of it, which is triggering and uncomfortable for the human ego. And then once I got past that, then I started getting connected to this individual energy that I am, this sovereignty, this consciousness.
Oh,
Yeah. And a friend of mine years ago, she said during this time period, she said, being single is so amazing because you learn to fall in love with yourself.
yes.
I will never forget that. And then I did, and it's just, and then it's kind of like, the terms a lot of people use is like you have to fill your own cup where you can fill anyone else's. It's exactly what I'm talking about. You fill your own cup, and then what you're able to offer to other people, not from trauma response or from need or from whatever, yeah, grasping whatever. This is what I'm about to show people and teach people, hopefully.
I mean, yeah. And then you're doing it. This is what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is a transmission. It's an embodied transmission.
Mm-hmm.
There is some people find me and they're like, I I like through Instagram or like they get introduced to me and the way that they approach my work is like, I don't know what it is. I can't really pinpoint what it is that I'm gonna do with you, but I just feel like it's just something about the way that you like hold yourself and the way that you treat yourself with your intimacy, like I need to know how to do that with myself. I'm like, yes. And it's like
Yes.
it
Come this
really
way.
is like, yeah, like, yeah. And it's like it's an embodied thing. Like the thing that we do to our clients is less about what we teach, like how we teach them cognitively. Yes, we can teach them so many concepts, but unless they are there in their nervous system and they're getting it and they're regulated enough, it's going one ear and out the other. Sometimes we remember the thing forever because we were just grounded enough to be like, I'll remember this forever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really our biggest gift to the world, clients, family members, friends, the field is our embodiment, what we're willing to step into with ourselves. And the journey is always about self-love. How
Yeah,
much can you truly love the part of God that you came to be without bashing it, without feeling like it's a small, just constantly breaking through the illusion that it's a small thing, but constantly humbled by the reality that it
yeah,
is a part of a whole and that it
yeah,
has to come into coherence with it. And there is a listening to others and being of service and a constantly being attuned to yourself. And that's the marriage of sacred union. Can I
hmm,
be like, I'm listening, I'm attuning to you, and I'm attuning to this, and we're doing this dance, and then that's like the masculine and feminine within, and the masculine and feminine in and outside of ourselves, and just like the and that baby to grandmother spectrum, it's like it's
yeah,
literally thing, it's like
yeah,
be childlike and can I be wise and can I have boundaries and can I say fuck it sometimes, it's like the whole thing. It's like, but it's a listening, it's a deep listening to the
yeah.
field.
Deep listening, deep presence. Yeah, paying attention. And
Yes.
it's such a beautiful when you can stay in that frequency and be looking from that place. Um, the uh, empathy and the groundedness, you can interact in
Mhm.
relationship, in romantic, family dynamics, friendships, whatever. There's no, yeah, there could be upset, but how do we handle that upset? It's
Yeah.
like if you can constantly look at, okay, this is in my field. You're being such, I'm meant to learn a lesson out of this. Thank you
Mhm.
for being part of this lesson. Be an inquiry around it. There's no upset when you can look from that place. And then the other person never feels like pushed away or, whatever. And by the way, it does not have to, the other person does not have to be looking from that place either. It's like,
Right. It's just your work.
Yeah, exactly. Come
If
back to
you
what you said. It's your own work and how much you love
yeah, the
yourself. Yeah.
trigger is your work. The trigger is like finding out where your own bowl has cracks and can't hold all of your water. And
Right.
like any trigger is just showing you, oh, there's another crack. And if we could just look at the person and instead of being like, fuck you, you just triggered me, instead we're like, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm triggered. Like my
Or
protective,
sometimes, or also like it's important to honor our human emotions and be like, could
right.
be fuck you and thank you.
Well, okay, well then I think, and this is I think where the misconception happens, because it's like, well, I have a boundary. It's like no, you can disagree with what they're doing, and there can be a big fuck you and fuck off, but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what they're actually doing is not okay.
yeah, yeah,
And thank you for showing me where I'm still like something here is needs to be seen.
yeah.
Now, trigger is not always that the bowl cannot hold water. A trigger can be like you being like, oh, here's my boundary, and I have
Hmm.
not been able to give it a voice, and now I can.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
in that way, you do fill in the crack of, I used to not be able to say no, and now I can.
yeah, yeah. I'm living a perfect example of that in an area in my life right now in business. And it's
Beautiful.
beautiful. It's like, wow, I get to experience myself in a new way that I have not had to yet. This is
Mhm.
such an exciting movie. I can't wait to see how it ends. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm creating it, but it just
yeah.
keeps me in a, I get to set a boundary that I've never had to set before. It stretches my nervous system to be able to handle that because I know deeply where I operate from is from the heart and in deep integrity all the time. And so every action that's needed to set this boundary is like, let's see, let's see how this ends. I'm doing this all with love. Like, let's go.
I think that filter, I mean, knowing that about your intention
Yeah.
is what gives you the confidence to go, I know where I'm coming from with this boundary,
Hmm.
what my intention is here. So setting it will actually mean a lot of freedom for everybody involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this is not to like fuck anyone over. This is not, it's that we will all get more settled if the boundary is set.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. More clarity,
And
more
yeah, and the
movement forward,
expectations.
everything. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to get into because this is also a topic. I want to get into the controversial topic I've heard a lot of people talking about on social media, and you and I have both talked about this too. And this is in the world of boundaries also, but there's so much just chaos and confusion between men and women, and it's tied to masculine and feminine energy. And there's a
Mhm.
lot of swirl around the concepts and what this means and how we're supposed to interact with each other. And I see it on all sides, and there's a lot of confusion, a lot of blame, a lot of hurt, anger, fear. So yeah, I don't know how we want to get into this topic, but I know this is a topic that you talk a lot about on your social media as well. What's present for you right now in this topic? Let's start there.
If we follow, thank you for the question. If we follow the energy that is organically moving through us, people who feel very distinctly, you man, I'm woman, the more we have understood like the written things around what polarity is, like the two genders, right? And right now that conversation alone can feel it's very polarized to say the
Right,
least.
all right, yeah, exactly.
Polarizing conversation around genders, but
Yeah,
let's just be with what we feel is true. And
yeah,
so when I feel into the two distinct poles within me, and the ones where when I, they both feel like they want just as much attention, but they express differently through me than when I experience a man expressing himself through those poles, like the masculine and feminine within him.
hmm,
And
hmm,
I've been talking about it through my teachers. They changed it to alpha and omega because
hmm.
that feels less polarizing for people.
Okay.
Um, and so alpha being the masculine pole, omega the feminine, and then there's just you take the gender out of it. And then so you're like, okay, so there's two different energies that are manifesting within you,
Yeah,
and
just two energies.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they just move, they create this perfect like energy center that just creates life.
yeah,
And you need both for perfect life and coherence to exist and
yeah.
manifest. And the more I've understood it, and I'm still diving into it, like the actual cognitive aspect. But when I feel the truth in me as a woman, like the thing that is coming into coherence is my relationship to how they both come together in me. Because I wasn't raised by a man, by a father, and the father line, like the trusting man, was a painful thing in my family.
Mm,
My mother, and I love my father, he's life-saving, but he
mm,
came later into my life, and he
yeah.
actually taught me everything about Tantra and Taoism. And I mean, I had my spiritual awakening because of my father.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he's my greatest spiritual teacher. But then when I think about my mother, she was also my greatest spiritual teacher because she gave
Yeah,
me so much pain, right? So
in a different way. Yeah.
in a different way, it's amazing. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful that I can see it that way now. But when I think about the pain that was like, can we trust the masculine? Can I trust men? What is this alpha energy in me? There was a lot of alpha energy in me as a little girl.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
I
Because you had to
couldn't
be.
trust this. And yeah, I had to be.
Hmm.
Exactly. As a
Hmm.
little girl where there was no alpha energy I can just rest in, mine had to get expressed. And in that, I developed it for safety in a third world country with no father, a chaotic mother who there's no like alpha energy that she can trust. So so much of that made me not understand my feminine energy until later.
Yeah.
Except I really understood it, in my emotions, in my softness, in my girlhood, but in a way that was like kind of hidden and kind of like back. I was embarrassed about it until I discovered dance. Masturbation was one of them, but I was like hiding, in a way. In the way that I wanted to receive a man. So I knew very early on how much I wanted to be filled by a man. Like I used to like have these fantasies about like still do. It's just like I want to be overwhelmed by maleness. Like I
Uh-huh.
would just
Yeah.
want to be completely
Consume you. Yeah.
consumed, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then just like the thing that would like the sentence that would continue playing in my mind was like, I want to be like broken into a million pieces and put back together. And it was something about, yeah, coming undone and then brought back together with love. And I've, life has taken me different places to understand that. But in that, what does that bring up in you when I talk about my experience of the masculine and the feminine?
What it brings up is I completely get the world of what you're looking to experience, completely broken open and put back together by the masculine. Um, have you had a glimpse of that, by the way?
Yeah, a few glimpses of that for sure. I've met
Okay.
a
Okay.
few lovers that given me that
Okay.
glimpse.
Cool. Because a man that has the ability to uh, offer that, because what that means to me, what I hear in that is that a man that is showing up with the ability to create the container
Mhm.
for the feminine to be blasted open and like, oh my God, complete surrender, complete relax, and complete flow
Mhm.
because there's so much trust and love and safety and holding and seeking that or needing that. Whenever we're seeking or feeling like we need something outside of ourselves, that is a sign that there's something in the background running in my subconscious mind that is a limitation because that's an example of me giving my power away to someone else.
Mhm.
That does not mean it isn't fucking amazing and
Right,
sexy and yummy to experience.
right,
And that's like I talk a lot about with friends and clients about energetic sex.
right.
People I don't think have a real concept of what that is, but if you can come from a place of not needing
Hmm.
that someone else outside of me to create to give that to me.
Right, your own field of
No.
pleasure, your own
Yeah,
field
exactly.
of aliveness. You
Right.
are your own field of aliveness. And like
Exactly.
you are the spring, you each are the spring.
Yeah.
And you're a well, and
You're
someone can
well, exactly. And
tap
then
into
the
the
energy that gets created between those two people and then moves between, and the whole experience is like, holy shit,
yes,
you know?
exactly.
And then the question becomes, how does that container get created? Another thing I always say is like I believe that behind every single human emotion that's we would deem negative, all the shadow energies or whatever, there's two emotions that's behind all of it. And if it's when we are holding on to some shame about something or guilt about something.
Yes,
And
yes.
how do we shed these things? First of all, becoming aware of them is the key. And then how do we
It's a
shed
huge,
them?
that's the number
Yeah, it's a
one.
huge one. Yeah, it's a very big one. And there's a lot of this is in the world of what I do. I help people identify their subconscious
Yeah.
beliefs or the stories that shame and guilt, and it's what you do as well. And unwinding them fully to be able to fully release them and not have them have any control over you is to face them, walk through the fire. Like, wow, now I see how that got created. Why I'm holding onto that shame. I need to go back. I need to get back into that storyline and address it from the core. Who else was involved in that storyline?
And it's in
Um,
our bodies. It's in our
yes,
body.
body.
Story
Yeah,
loops for a long time, and it creates contractions in our bodies that then, I mean, we have to figure out the thing that unwinds it from the body.
yeah, yeah.
Because
Exactly.
or unless you find the exact opposite story and then start looping that for years in a way
Yeah,
that you actually believe it. But like really, only you know if you're getting unwound or if you're just in your bullshit, you
right.
know?
Well,
Some,
this is a big part of what people. I think most people don't have an awareness of how to actually fully release it. There's a lot of what people are considering in integration.
right.
I think there's a really big missing in what people consider integration. Yeah, and so
The biggest issue.
yes, yes, breath work is great. Meditation's great.
Ayahuasca is great. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
it.
all those
But
things are great.
integration, the actual integration is everything.
It's
Is
everything. It's literally all that there is to do. Like
yeah.
there's the
It's
discovery phase and then the integration phase.
literally like you could just read a book, which is the same thing as going and doing ayahuasca. You're being told what's up, what the truth is, and
Right?
then it's like, can you actually integrate it into your life?
Yeah, yeah,
So people are reading 1,000 books and going to 1,000 retreats and journeys and ketamine journeys and ayahuasca journeys and all the
yeah,
journeys, buying all the things, and nothing is changing. It
yeah,
looks like their lives are different because they're doing all these things, but
yeah,
they're still the running story and then the same patterns in relationships. That's the
yeah.
biggest one, right? Like I'm always running into the same attachment style in relationships.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what people have it that that's just my attachment style,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, or that's just my like you could any of these things. Oh, that's
Anytime they
my
would say, that's just my, I mean, that's it.
yeah, exactly. Like okay, so you're accepting yourself as this as that, and now you're a fixed
Right.
way of being. I'm sorry, no, you're nothing but beautiful, pure energy,
Right.
and you're none of those things. It's a great way for you to learn why you interact in the world in certain ways.
Mhm.
And you're not handcuffed by any of that. Like you can do the work and discover yourself at deeper layers and then take action and release the energy so that those things don't have any control over you anymore. Like,
Yes.
you
I mean,
know,
I used to live, I had not, for years, I had not figured out how to like really own the part of me that needed to get evolved, that really evolved my masculine line of focus, of career, of all these things. And I didn't have the setup. I didn't have the financial setup. I didn't have the educational setup. I didn't have, and because my background of coming from such a dysregulated upbringing, which is when I would have been developing a sense of self that was grounded in the matrix and like really
yeah,
knew my feet on the ground. Um, lacking the father, like all of that kind of set me up for this like swirly, confused, like not knowing, totally dysregulated adulthood where I was like, okay, I know in theory what The Secret is saying and manifestation, everything, and like, but
Mhm.
I for some reason cannot figure out how to leave a not misattuned, I mean misaligned relationship where I am
Yeah.
sexless, miserable,
Mm.
fantasizing about other people, living in a world in here and making myself do something completely differently. Talking
Mm.
about this with one of my clients, and I cannot tell you how many people, and I mean, I lived it for a long time, but how many people are in relationships and they're making themselves have sex with those partners
Yeah.
and they're miserable. Like every
Out of
time,
comfort or out of what do you think that is?
out of fear, comfort, but fear of losing safety, fear
Yeah.
of losing their home, what's comfortable, the tribe, acceptance, being seen as dirty people who are
Yeah.
selfish, losing financial freedom, having to take care of themselves, having to become more autonomous and sovereign. All of that is
Yeah.
terrifying. So they're outsourcing parts of themselves that they haven't learned how to hold. And in that, they're abandoning themselves for just a few ingredients
Yeah.
and they feel completely unfulfilled.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it goes back to what we're saying in the beginning, it's the sovereignty piece. That
Yeah. Sovereignty.
spirit
Yeah.
knows it's sovereign and it is literally going to test you every moment of your life to see if you can live a sovereign life. Every
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
sovereign right now? Are you sovereign right now? You're not. Here's a little pain. It's contracting. It's
Yeah.
contracting. You're not sovereign right now. It's like, you know,
Yeah. It's so
can't even say
beautiful.
yes when it's no. It's like, ah.
And
It's
and you brought up the word fulfillment. Like everyone has their version of fulfillment, and I believe the level of fulfillment that I have gotten to experience in my heart that I'm operating from now is like next level compared to most humans. And I fully know that there are so many more bigger levels of fulfillment and bliss and love that my conscious mind can't even comprehend.
yeah.
So that's like we know the with the juice and the yumminess behind energetic sovereignty, complete energetic sovereignty. And others might have a glimpse, like their own truth of what a fulfillment and things are, but like there's never ending depths of the human experience getting to experience these things. It's like, holy shit. It becomes addicting. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to have the next breakthrough for myself that I can experience this even more. Like, oh my God.
And it's different for different people depending on like the filters that we've been exposed to.
Yeah.
And it feels like an arc of like different aspects of the self that wants to know itself as certain things. Like for some people at different stages of life will be different things. Like for me, um, you know, yeah, the whole idea about achievement and then that feeling fulfilling, and then you get to that certain level of achievement with something that meant something maybe to your father or mother, and you like because you did it,
Yeah.
you feel you did something like, oh my God, and then you're like, wait, that was fulfilling. The idea was to achieve it was more fulfilling than actually doing it. And then you actually like for me is a returning to sensitivity and like simplicity that's actually more fulfilling for me. Like yeah,
Hmm.
but then that also comes with having arrived at a certain level of quality of life in meeting my basic needs. Because
Yeah.
if you're just in survival mode and you haven't experienced like a certain level of the goodness of life, um, and the wealth of life in some way, then you're just like barely surviving. It's like you cannot, you have to hit certain levels of basic needs being met so that your creativity and the godliness of you that wants to know itself in the world has a chance to really be like, what is fulfillment?
Hmm. Hmm.
Otherwise, you're in this like, can I just get my head out of water? And I've experienced it because I came out of poverty in Venezuela, and I wasn't like extreme poverty at all. I was like middle class to low class, but it's like that's different than spiritual poverty. And then you are just basically navigating different levels of going from poverty, spiritual, emotional, physical, all
Yeah.
the way to the wealth of the simplicity of how a sip of water is like gold and
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
that can feel pleasurable. and how that can feel extremely fulfilling in a moment.
Yeah.
Because it is those moments now, like when you ask me like what is my like ideal day for me, and I'm just like I'm by sun and water, like with time in my hands, the freedom to be slow in my body, hopefully feeling pleasure, you
Oh,
know?
you sound like you're living on the beach in Panama like I am. No.
Like you created it, my friend. You created
Yeah,
it for
I've
yourself.
created
Yeah.
it.
You're like, actually, that is fulfillment, and I'm living it every day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And you're
Actually,
creating something for others to live it because you're creating an entire, what is it?
yeah.
What are you creating over there right now?
I'm gonna be doing a lot more, but right now my current project is like 12 acres. I'm building some villas on this hillside above this secluded beach. Just
Project
gorgeous.
looks incredible. So you are
Yeah,
basically like, come join me in this fulfillment experience.
yeah, and the what's behind it, it's
Mhm.
yes, I come from real estate my entire career, commercial real estate, and I'm it's just so fun for me. But what's behind this particular project is to the way I'm approaching it is to show people here because this part of Panama is growing like crazy. The amount of people moving here, the investment opportunities, it's insane. And I feel a very big responsibility to show people how we can do this correctly without destroying nature and like actually being a co-creative partner in with the animals and the plants and things like that. And there's so much biodiversity here. Let's just be a part of it and not destroy it, right? And
Right.
make a shitload of money for our investors and our home buyers and like all of
Yes.
it. So this is like a big part of what's behind it is showing people how all of it can be accomplished simultaneously in a harmonious way. This is
Oh,
like
it's fascinating.
and being a way shower for how things get done here as this place grows and more developers and more money start to pay attention to this place so that it doesn't become another one of these places in the world that humans have destroyed and now the waters
Mm.
are nasty and all that. So, but that's
Thank you
sorry,
for
side topic.
listening. Yeah, I mean, thank you for like knowing, for diving into yourself in such a way that who you have decided to express as in the world is that conscious in all your
Mm,
creations. Like as a
yeah,
man, the person that creates, that penetrates the world, you're doing it with consciousness and intentionality in a way that
yeah,
really listens to the earth so that it can respond to you with more openness and more
yeah,
welcoming. And it's like you're making love to the earth, like creating something very attuned for her and for people to really enjoy. And it's so beautiful. I just listening
yeah.
to you
Thank you.
so
Yeah,
much.
and this it was weird how this occurred. Like this land came to me. Like somehow this happened. I don't know how, but somehow I'm now the steward of this land.
Amazing.
And I hold deep responsibility for that. Like, okay, I was meant for this to show what to teach something, and now I've decided that there's a lot more additional land in this area that has much larger potential for me to be a way shower in that way. And I really want to protect it too because there's a lot of attention being paid to this area, and I don't want it to I don't want to see just the norm keep happening, which is like let's just rip
Yeah.
out everything
Make
and
it
then
look like
just
a
like
no.
yeah, exactly, and
No.
then just do like Lego blocks everywhere and like no, this needs to
No.
stop.
I thought it
At
was
least
interesting that the name of the beach is it after the deer, Playa
it
Venao?
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill. Yeah,
Yeah. And I just
Playa Vanao.
love that. Yeah, the deer is such
Yeah, and there's
a
actual deer here, wild
okay.
deer here.
Yeah.
That's why it's called that.
I mean,
It's
the
so
energy
weird.
is
This place is so
kindness,
strange.
gentleness, and like the invitation
Yeah,
of the deer energy is so
yeah.
full. Yeah.
Venado. And so the apparently the Panamanian, I'm learning aprendiendo español, but
Love it.
I'm learning that the Panamanian Spanish is a much more shortened version of
Oh yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
And so venado is actually
It's
a
there now.
deer, and they
Yeah.
shortened it to venao, so it's Playa
Yeah.
Venao. Yeah,
Yeah.
very
Yeah. I
cool.
caught it because Venezuelans speak the same way.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So
I'm so glad you're doing
yeah,
it. It feels true. And like, yeah, there's a relaxation to your being as an
mm,
entrepreneur man in his 40s. And like, okay, and I picked it up when I saw you in Nebraska, there was something around your field that I was like, wow, this guy feels like a successful entrepreneur, like just like
Mm,
the way that you held, like just your field. You're like you clearly have your shit together. You're there and you're
mm,
doing, but just so relaxed and
mm.
so attuned. And I cannot believe that we didn't speak then, but I could tell
I
that you were
know.
tracking
Yeah.
the field and you were noticing. It was just like, yeah, I could feel you. And I was like, wow, there's just something very grounded and integrated in that man, whatever.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
It's something
I feel that
beautiful.
way.
Yeah.
That is my
Yeah.
story of myself. So
Yeah. I mean,
thank you.
it comes through. It comes through before knowing you.
Good.
So that's, I mean,
And
not everybody's paying attention to that, but the people that are can really pick it
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. That are super deeply aware of.
When also people are picking it up, even if they don't know what they're picking up. And
Yeah.
so, like,
True.
and it doesn't lie, So this is the kind of the conversation I work with my clients as well. Like people always think that people can lie to them and that they've been lied to. Like, I've always been lied to, and I'm like, let's talk about that. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like before you know a tune and before you know how to stop gaslighting yourself, and you think you're being lied to, and you're just being lied to yourself because you always.
Hmm.
And yeah, people have lied to us. Yes, they have said lie to us before we could actually be like, no, this is a lie. You
Yeah.
know, just like we know when we're lying.
Right.
And again, it goes back to the sovereignty piece. Why don't we feel safe? Again, if you're lying, it's because you don't feel safe to say the truth because it's going to
Mm,
cost you.
mhm,
So
mhm,
it's like,
mhm.
okay, so what is keeping you from feeling safety or asking for what you need to feel safe? There is a
Yeah.
need to lie sometimes if it's going to save you from something. Now, what is it going to cost you? Like if it's actually to save your life, that's different. But
Yeah.
if you're lying because you don't want to lose a relationship and you're cheating, okay, well, it's going to cost you the relationship and now you're not in the relationship. It costs you.
Yeah.
So it's really about like who do you want to be? Who are you right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
How sovereign are you in your life? How free are you with yourself? How full of shit are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really think that the amount of pleasure and bliss and polarity that you feel, like sexiness, is directly related to your ability to face your own bullshit and to ask your counterpart, your lover, often, where am I full of shit?
Hmm. Hmm.
Where am I full of shit? Show me.
Yeah.
Lovingly, please. Lovingly. But tell me where I'm full of
Yeah.
shit. Because
Lovingly. Yeah.
if I can't hear it from you, I am not really with you, am I? Because I'm not with myself.
Yeah. Yeah. There's what I'm hearing in that, or in the way I say it is when you can talk, when you have the capability, and this is an earned thing. Like you really, I've done a lot of work to get to this place of inward work is when you can talk about literally anything with literally anyone at any time with
Yeah.
no shame or guilt. Oh fuck, let's go life. This You're operating from nothing but pure creation energy
Yeah.
because you become untouchable. The energy that flows through you is like, oh wow.
Yes.
People ask me all the time, like, how in the world do you have so much energy? I know exactly how, but they're just a lot of people are just not going to get it or resonate. So I just typically, unless I know somebody's going to get it, typically I'll just say, I don't know, but I'm not asking questions. Like, but no, it's like finding out where you're full of shit. Where
Where
are
your
you?
blocks are.
Yeah, where your
Yeah.
blocks are. Where are you hiding secrets? These things are all tied to shame or guilt. And it's all in the world. And honestly, this is how I'm in the process of putting together or extrapolating out of myself the right wording to be able to like share with people so that it lands how to release the shame and the guilt and the secrets and hiding and the made up stories to guard your ego. And like there's so much of this in going back to like the man woman masculine feminine alpha and omega connection. I can't tell you how often I hear like a lot of men to guard their ego, they will, make up. I shouldn't say a lot. I have heard many times men to guard their ego will make up that they did certain things with a woman, even though it's not true.
Because I feel like it's a badge of honor. It's like I've done
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Exactly.
I'm desirable.
Right.
I
Yeah.
earned her.
yeah, I earned her, or oh my God, like, yeah,
She
just to
chose
sound
me.
cool. Right.
Yeah, she opened up to me, you know?
Right. And then on the other side, a lot of women who, and this more comes from trauma response, I think,
Mhm.
triggered trauma response or a feeling of unsafety is like exaggerating things or also maybe potentially making up stories
Yeah,
because they don't trust the man or something like
right.
that. There's so much of
Right.
this, and it causes so much confusion on how to interact with each other.
There's so much pride in holding the protectors. It's like
Yeah.
we don't even realize that all of that is what's keeping us from feeling like revealed, exposed, and really feeling more. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're wanting somebody to jump through hoops to meet you. Um, you have unreasonable expectations of someone because your mother and father couldn't meet each other in sacred union,
Mhm.
meet you with attunement, and now you're literally making your lover jump through hoops so that you can feel felt and
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not their fault, you know. Like you want to do a little like opening some gates again. Like there's a not without boundaries, not before they're actually worthy of yours. Like, is there safety? Okay, like what are your characters as safe? There's something around the work that we need to do to really like take down our walls and
Mhm.
be open, but not necessarily let just anyone through. And it's
Mhm.
like there's this like, can I be blooming out of my own radiance, out of my own remembrance? I'm here. I don't need anybody to be blooming. I am like alive and choosing myself. And then something comes into my field, like the bee flies to the flower, and it's like, oh, I wasn't pollen. And it's like, okay, well, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me see if your buzz makes me give you some pollen, you know? And
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like, instead of being like, oh, you're here and just because you give me attention, I feel worthy and like here's everything. I open all the gates. And there is a misconception around the part that we are responsible for as individuals to be in our own radiance and opening and being available or having boundaries. And there's it's all about education, energetic
Mhm.
education, the thing we didn't get in childhood, the shame our parents carried around sexuality and each other and themselves. And we didn't get in the form of energetic and taught education. Like I
Yeah.
remember very clearly when I found out what sex was and how it felt. I was 5 years old, maybe four. I was going to go to bed. I was going to the bathroom to pee, and my twin sister's asleep. My mother is watching a movie. When I'm passing her bedroom, she is facing the TV. The TV is facing the door. I
Okay.
had already discovered masturbation. So I had already knew that touching my body, that touching my pussy was
Felt
would
good.
arrive at climax. Like I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
like, I didn't know what it meant. I just knew it was magical, right? I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so I'm passing the bedroom and my mother's watching like HBO late night, but she's asleep. But the
Ah,
TV's
okay.
and as I'm passing the bedroom, I see two people having sex, and I remember being like, like I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, like my whole world went sideways. I was like, because
Yeah.
I stood at the door, and I was
You're
like,
like, wait, you can use toys too? No.
no, but it was more like the, I was like, wait,
Mhm.
when two adults get together, okay, so my mother had told me that making babies is when the two adults get naked together, like mom and dad get naked and they lay together.
Yeah.
Didn't know tell me anything else. And I was like, and then the baby gets put in the mother's belly, and I was like, how? you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was like, the father asks for a little egg from God and puts it in the belly button of the mother. And I'm like, what? Like she so confusing. I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Some story. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, God, okay. I was like, well, I believe in magic, so like maybe. So I didn't, it didn't have to make sense for me then. But then I watched that, and it wasn't clearly sex. I wasn't seeing like a cock going inside a woman. Like I wasn't seeing that, but I saw that two people were naked, loving each other, clearly thrusting, feeling a lot, making noises, being turned on. It immediately lit a fire in me, and I
Mm.
was, oh my God, wait a second. When I do that thing alone, is what feels like when adults get together to make a
Oh my
baby.
God. So you made that connection.
Dude, it was like ayahuasca
Yeah.
moment. I was like,
Yeah.
just stopped on
Incredible.
the doorway, just like, oh my God. I was like, holy shit, holy shit. And I remember like going to school, Catholic school, and asking questions, getting in trouble about it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I was like, wait. And then I remember sitting there and questioning the teacher. I was like, they were like, you can't be asking those questions. And I was like, why? And they were like, because those are adult questions. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
You, we all, but all the adults did that. And that's why we're all here. Why
yeah,
can't I know that? I need to know. Like, and second of all, like, I already know how to do it.
yeah. I could teach this.
Like, I already know what it feels like. I need to know
Yeah,
more. You know? It was like, wow, there's a
yeah.
lack of education here, you know?
When did you lose your virginity? How old were
I
you?
was 17,
17? Okay.
in love, with great boundaries, with a great guy, because I was
Amazing.
desperate, you know?
Yeah, because you had learned back then, or at
Yeah, but
least
also because of my
since.
father, because of my father. My
Yeah,
mother
okay.
was very cautious, like, be careful. But my father, he came in when I was 18, 8, and then throughout the times that he visited me and we had developed a relationship, he gave me so much information around sexuality, Taoism, Tantra, energy.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like, he gave me everything, biology,
Incredible.
and
Yeah.
mostly about turn on. He was like, school teaches you about biology and diseases. It doesn't talk to you about turn on. And so he asked me and my sisters, like, on our drive, we're going out of town for a weekend, and he's like, so, because we have different mothers, and he would pick us up, and he was like, so this is a really personal question. It's totally casual, but, like, like, if you don't want to answer, it's fine. And I was like, well, how's he setting it up? And he's like, do you guys, like, touch yourselves? And we all looked at each other in the car, and we're like,
What?
we don't do that. That's gross. And
Yeah,
of course,
yeah,
my twin sister knew that I did because I taught her. But and he's like, it's fine. You don't have to answer. I mean, if you do it, it's cool. I want to say that it's totally, totally healthy if you do it in your private space. And it's the only way that you'll ever get to know what you actually
yeah,
want to
yeah, and your
teach
body.
them.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's a guessing game and they'll never make you happy.
yeah.
So the more you know your body, the more you'll know, like, the engine that is the energy that flows through you, and Eros. And so then he went into the, like, Taoistic aspects of it and taught us so much. From that point
Wow.
on, he gave me so much information.
What a beautiful father figure,
Yeah.
Oh my
What I loved
God.
about it is that because he didn't raise me, every time he came to visit, he was, first of all, never had leaky sexual energy, never
Mm,
was inappropriate.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He was so understanding of that. He was like, he's a Taoist, so he's a master
yeah.
at energy signatures and, like, people, and, like, was so good at even making us understand that, and, like, about
Mm,
people. Like, can you sense that person has leaky sexual energy? Can
yeah.
you sense that your body contracts when you're around them? Okay, like,
Mm,
even with family friends, he was like, you see how that person, okay, it was so important, like, what he gave me, because in a country that sexual harassment is not an issue, like, people just get harassed all the time and you can't, like, call the cops for it. The
yeah,
cops will come
yeah,
and do it to you. So there's
yeah,
a he gave me a lot of power. And I think
yeah.
because of that education, I was able to really wait to lose my virginity
Yeah,
with someone that I really loved. And
yeah, because then you were aware enough to choose instead
yes,
of just doing the default thing. Yeah,
yeah, to get attention, to feel wanted, to feel, because
yeah.
somebody's giving me some attention. Yeah. How old
Wow.
were you when you did it?
So I was 16, but the funny thing about my story is that when I was, I don't know, like in first grade, however old you are then, I used to be so blasted open wild child, like I was the crazy one, and that's how I am now in the world. But I had to earn my way back there.
Yeah, we all did.
So
Yeah.
I was yeah, blasted open wild child, and then something happened in first grade that I distinctly remembered, and I, without thinking, put my arm around this girl I had a crush on in first grade, and the way she reacted to that, I then made up a story about it, and then I became fearful of girls. I have three brothers, no sisters, so I didn't really have much experience with girls my whole upbringing.
Yeah,
So I
getting
became
rejected.
fearful of girls.
Brutal.
Yeah. And so then when I was 16 years old, this one particular girl was just making it very clear that, like, she's super into me. And so then I had my first kiss. And then 2 weeks later, I lost my virginity to her. But
Wow.
she was driving the
That's
bus,
good. I mean, at least she was like,
It's
yeah,
amazing. So yeah. So
Yeah.
I thank her for like, wow, you ripped me out of my shell. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I needed that.
Everything. I mean, like, yeah, I think that this is a really important topic. So I heard the other day, I seen a video on Instagram, like, there's not enough men asking women out anymore. And it's because there's a lack of training in rejection
Yeah, yeah,
and growing in capacity to be rejected and not totally letting you collapse your
yeah,
system and actually like be like, it's fine. Like, whew, it's a blow to the system. I mean, just me learning about the rejection I felt in this last relationship, dating a pretty avoidant man who,
yeah.
for 3.5 years was so painful. And um, I turned him on, all the things, but again, there was so much rejection happening all the time. Like bits for connection, I would just throw a bit for connection, and he would just be like, it would freeze him, and it was
Mm,
like so much fear, but so available for sex that was extremely opening, but not that came with any emotional binding. And it was just
yeah.
like, whoa, like I was just like,
It's not
how is it?
fulfilling.
Yeah, not fulfilled.
Yeah.
So it was like, but then during the sex, it was so attuned and like felt like emotional sex, but then as soon as it's over.
Yeah.
There's no
Right.
connection. So painful. And that rejection is like, I realized that I had not become better at holding rejection, at being rejected without
Mm,
collapse. It made me completely collapse. And I think that there's a thing that we all need to get better at training ourselves in our nervous systems to not fully collapse in rejection so that we can continue trying to get the thing that we want
yeah.
instead of just being
Yeah.
like, I'm nothing, nobody wants me. And every single man that I've been with, every man I've dated
Yeah.
has been an I pursued.
Okay.
Yeah, except for one actually, except for one. And he was very masculine. I mean, all of them have been, yeah. But yeah, it's just usually like there has to be a green light, right? There has to be a way that I'm just like, I'm looking at you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that girl needed to show you. And then it had to break through the thing in you that felt unworthy. And
Exactly. Yeah,
you're
exactly.
like, wait, you really want me? And then that gives you enough wings to be like, wait, so when a girl's giving me that kind of look, okay, she wants me, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good. And we need to develop that
Right.
robustness.
Yeah. And then you talk about what you said a little bit ago. No, not many men are asking women out anymore. And from the masculine side, the men's side, it's like, what's your pickup line and all that. And I've always been because once I broke loose of the fear of women, I've been with a lot of women, I've done all that, but it's like, what's your pickup line? There's so much thought and strategy around that. And it's like, no, get rid of all that bullshit. Just be completely vulnerable and open. And like I've literally been thanked by women at like, and I don't really do this. I've never been a person to like go up and like hit on a girl in a bar or whatever, unless it's very clearly invited, like you're talking about, like a
Mhm.
look like that. But I've literally been thanked like by these two women in particular. I'm thinking of like, oh my God, thank you for coming and talking to us. We're so confused as to why, we thought we're pretty and stuff like that. Because the rejection piece is
It's
so
so painful.
painful. And because men think that they have to come up with some grab, like a hook called a pickup line. No, let's just let go of all that. You can just say, oh my God, you caught my eye. I think you're
Yes.
beautiful. What's your name?
Yes. And it's like there's no hiding that
Yeah,
your desire is to end up in sex, but what is your staying capacity?
yeah,
Surely you can have a pickup line like,
yeah,
okay, I'm coming to show you that I'm interested, but what
yeah,
is your staying capacity? Like,
yeah.
and do you even know what you want? Because
Mm,
it's like, okay, I just want to get off with your body. Hi. It's like
yeah.
women are gonna be like, do you know everything I have to do just so you can masturbate with my body? No. And then clean up house, like, fuck no.
Which, to be truthful, like that probably works a lot of the time.
Yeah, and like honestly, like, a lot of people are pretty, we're lonely again, like our bodies need
Yeah,
touch and pleasure,
yeah,
and that's why the dating apps work because people are lonely and they want to get touched and
yeah.
like the ways like I've been in this I'm in a no man diet right now.
Hmm.
But it's been with a group of friends, girlfriends, and we're like doing a 3-month container, but I'm actually been in a 6-month container, and before that it was 9 months, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm in separation, and it's been very organic for me. I'm just like, yeah, I'm getting over this very big relationship, and there's just no space in me for casual sex at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And I wish, honestly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish. That'd be nice. If I could just like casually without being like confused. But so the way that I'm navigating it now is like, okay, so I'm reminding my male clients that there is so much power in being playful with the honesty that you can say that you're interested in someone just for the exchange of energy, even if they're like, I'm not interested. But like, it means so much. Even if somebody says, I'm not interested, some girls are going to be complete, like, cunts in the
Yeah.
rejection,
Yeah.
especially in bars and like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, there's like a drinking culture that is really like just fucking cutting. Even though they want to get hit on, they also want to reject you. It's really
Yeah. It's part
painful.
of the game. It's like, no
I've
thanks.
never rejected anyone who came
Yeah.
at me like that,
Yeah. Like
unless they're
that.
like extremely misattuned and very sexually aggressive,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And they need
Um,
a harsh reflection like that. Yeah.
yeah, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm responding with the energy they're giving me.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm envisioning now in like this container is like what I'm welcoming more of is that energy of like running energy. It's like we're just in the playful energy of knowing what it is that the field can hold. And I do this game with my clients that want to know uh, how to open up or trigger the um, involuntary feminine response. So you
Hmm.
don't have to have actual chemistry with a woman. You want to know if you actually have chemistry with her, but you don't know until you're like, okay, you look at her like, okay, she's my flavor. Okay, you're my flavor. Okay. Okay, you get closer. You're like, okay, smell each other. Okay, we like each other. Their voice, everything matters, right? Like
Yeah.
what
Yeah. Yeah.
actually unlocks me, and I'm opening, right? And then it's like, well, your emotional capacity, like what you do for a living, all that, the alignment, everything starts opening me more, right? And then if it's like really aligned and we're compatible, which you only find out with time spent
Hmm.
together, like how
Hmm.
we live our lives and how we respond to people and how our systems kind of like relax with each other and make each other laugh and la la la. But like all of that is in time. The initial meeting is chemistry, and
Yeah.
chemistry also like it comes in layers. And so first is I notice the way that your walk makes my body open. And it's like if something about the way that you're stacking your bones and how it
Yeah.
moves
Stacking your
opens,
boats.
yeah, like your bones are stacked. How they move in your
Yeah.
body,
Yeah.
I'm like it either opens me or closes me. And
Yeah.
so the whole relationship that I have to my body is the constantly thing that I'm doing with my clients is can you sense what your body's doing? Can you sense?
Hmm.
Not here. How does it look on paper? You know, like no. If your body is contracting in any way, that person will never have your devotion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is you have to listen to your body. And it and you can maybe I don't want to be shallow. And it's like, it's not about shallow. It's about your body is looking for its match. It's like it's a biological match, and we call it chemistry.
Yeah.
And
And it's
it
about trusting your intuition because your body's
yes,
telling you,
it's in more forms than one.
yeah,
All the
yeah,
energy
yeah.
are coming at you. You're gonna say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And it's
And
like, okay,
this is how it's all connected to the body, like you said in the very beginning of this conversation,
yes,
the
yes.
mind-body
Like,
connection.
are you listening to the signals that are going like go there, give him a look, open up? And so then it's like, okay, so how does a man know if you're opening her? And so the
Mm,
exercise goes, I'm in your presence. Okay, so first, you don't have to actually have chemistry with someone to trigger her feminine response, but you don't want to be blowing women open. But it's a good exercise to know how, what is the energetics, what are the energetics that actually make somebody go into that effervescence, like, oh my God, I feel opened, right?
yeah,
And because I've been in the presence of men who I really wouldn't necessarily want to have sex with, but they are so good at just being with me in an attuned way. That
yep,
the way
yeah.
that they are just in my presence and just curious and just being with me all of a sudden opens something in me that like just draws me to turn on. And I'm like, wow, this is fun. Like I'm here. I'm like open.
Yeah,
So the magic happens in your ability to remain present fully present with her. And what is the thing that women want to know? Or what is the thing that makes a woman feel like it opens a man? Or, yeah. So if you're coming at me and we're on a date
Yeah.
and you want to shoot your shot, you want to impress me so that because you're noticing that I'm your flavor and you're like, oh my God, I really want to, I
And we would
really,
have so much fun. Yeah.
I just want to have so much fun with this girl. Like
Yeah.
she's so,
Yeah.
so yummy. Like I want her. I
Yeah.
hope that she wants me. But I'm like here on the date with you. So
Yeah.
there's something clearly that maybe I'm already, I already say yes to something. And so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so then show me more. And the show me more is when the presence comes in.
Hmm.
It's like, how grounded are you in your body that what you choose to talk about or ask me about and your curiosity about actually wanting to connect with me, what does it actually make you do in action? Because if you're just so preoccupied to get the girl, but it not present enough to understand what is opening in me,
Hmm.
you're not actually curious. You're
Not
just
actually curious.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's an energetic thing. It's like you have to get out of your head. If I sense at all that you're trying to do all these like pickup lines and mental theatrics,
Strategy. Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
strategies so that I can open my legs,
Yeah. Yeah.
then I'm just
It's
like,
like, this is what I call the game, the lies
yeah,
that
it's a
men
game.
tell women to get laid. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bullshit game. It's like, so there's a pyramid, right? So there's a pyramid, an energetic pyramid of how we relate to each other. The masculine is the right side up pyramid, the feminine is the upside down. So the right, but they're actually labeled, the layers of the pyramid are labeled exactly the same. My tip, which is the bottom, is the physical. Your tip is the bottom of the
The
pyramid,
top.
which is the largest. No,
Ah, the bottom, which is
the
the
bottom
largest. I
is
see what you're
your
saying.
largest, is the
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah.
You are out in the world, and if we can
Yeah.
think about it as expressed in the body, and that you have a cock, you penetrate the world, you are physical, you are
Yeah.
out, you are here in the world. You
Yeah.
are supposed to be out in the world, like physical. The man is the physical. The woman comes from the womb. We have the empty vessel. We are so the physical is actually just the tip. It's like we are not. It's not our main focus. We are inward, and
Yeah.
so then the next layer is mental, the mind for both of us, and
Yeah.
that's where most men reside. Then there's the emotional, and the emotional is the incoherent, inconvenient, illogical. That's why the masculine they like it's a big step to actually like um let that if that is not developed in a way through the mother and
Self-discovery.
father self-discovery, the mother
Yeah.
and father really honoring those layers,
Yeah.
interacting in a way that feels like embodied around the child, the masculine will just rely on his mind to help him survive the physical, to show
Yeah.
up in the physical. Okay, so
Yeah.
that strategy to meet the world with just the mind gets women to just be like completely heartbroken. So because after the emotional goes into the spirit, into
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So it's an earned experience to get to touch the spiritual, and we both have the blueprint of it. The marriage of those two pyramids, the Merkaba, is when we actually come together in a very coherent way and we start spinning, our spiritual body, our mental body, and our physical body merges, and then we share the capacities in those up and down pyramids and how we both have integrated it in, and that's the sacred union, energetic
That's a
sacred
sacred
union
union.
of
Yeah, exactly.
yes,
The co-creation.
yes, and it happens through
Yes.
making love,
Beautiful.
happens through breathing together, it happens inside of ourselves, it happens in all our creation in the world, how we build the house together, how we build the family together, how we have conversation, conflict, always that like can we bring those two together where the way that you're seeing something in the physical, I might not totally see it there, but then the way that our minds come together, our emotions come together, and how much do I respect what you're bringing, and how much do you respect what I'm bringing,
Hmm.
without
Hmm.
not without fear, but in spite of the fear, in spite of the confusion, so that we can have a holistic view of this conflict, a
Right.
holistic experience of this lovemaking session. And so when you are trying to get the girl on that first date, if you have that as a goalpost, everything changes.
Yeah.
I am trying to meet you at the highest level
Right
capacity.
there. Yeah. Yeah.
If we both want to go there, our blueprint
Yeah.
knows it. The hunger within us that makes us want to fuck like animals wants to
Yeah.
meet the spirit. And
Yeah.
so, but if I don't know that's a goalpost, I'm just trying to play a mind strategy so you open your legs. And in that, I'm heartbroken. You just want me to open my legs. You don't even know
Yeah.
what to do inside of me. You don't even know what to do inside of me. You're gonna make a mess, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, also, I think most of society, most people out there, they don't have the awareness of themselves to know
Oh,
that what else? Yeah, they know that that's possible, the emotional part, but they don't
there's a
know how to connect to it. And so they actually respond to each other in the mind portion of the pyramid. That's what everyone's doing. This is why there's so much chaos and confusion and all of this, right?
okay.
And so using your analogy of like we're out, our cocks are out, we're penetrating the world. We have to produce results, right? Like, oh, I have to produce a result. I'm just talking through like the the mindset of a man looking to get laid or connect with women.
Right.
Okay, I have to go out and do things to produce a
Right.
result. It's called get
Yes.
fucked, right? Or be able to fuck someone. And so a man is like in sales mode. Okay,
Right.
what's my pitch gonna be so that I can
Yes.
get this girl to open her legs? And
Yes.
when a man can actually come from, no, I'm not selling, I'm actually buying, because the women are beautiful. They're genius level at, oh, I'm buying. I'm a buyer, not a seller. You have to sell me, right? And so all the men are selling, selling, selling. Well, what if a man switches the script a little bit, and there's a block in ability to do this, which I'll get into in a second. But what if a man becomes a buyer also? Both sides are
Mhm.
buyers. Then
Mhm.
that presence can actually be created.
Mhm.
And you're just checking each other out. There's no
Yeah, we are
agenda.
testing.
We're testing. And oh my
We,
God,
we, imagine we want to not necessarily impress each other. We want to disqualify each other as quickly as possible
yeah, right. Yeah.
so
Or
that we
just,
don't waste any time. You
yeah,
know?
or remain curious. And if we discover, oh, this is not a match, we move on quickly.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Remain curious, but
Yeah.
curious instead of trying to sell yourself.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Then that's where presence can come in. And then you just check each other out. And yes, you're hopeful all the time. Like, I want to buy both sides. I really want to buy. I hope
Yeah.
this is the right product for me, right?
Right.
For a man to be able to do that, to actually authentically come from a place of like, I don't need any of this. I absolutely invite it in if it's for me. And I don't need it to prove anything to myself. So I'm a buyer also, authentically. It takes looking inward, it takes doing the work, it takes discovering deeper layers of yourself and shedding the shit and this is true for women too, shedding all of the bullshit that keeps us from deeply, authentically sitting and being a buyer. It's like,
Mhm.
I'm completely held and fine by myself, from myself. Uh,
That's
oh my
it.
God, this yummy energy has come into my field. I want to explore it, see if it's an opportunity to share my powerful energy with that energy.
Mhm.
And this is where the best, most delicious connections come from.
Yes. And if we can really get honest about where we are hungry and where
Yeah.
we are not sovereign because of that hunger,
Yeah.
because when we're hungry, we're not sovereign. It's like
Yeah.
there's like a grasping energy even when we're pretending that it isn't. And
Hmm.
that comes in the form of falling in love with the idea of someone instead of the reality of coherence and it was actually showing up as availability. If
Yeah.
somebody is not actually available, you feel it in their lack of attention and presence with you.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, well, why are you there?
Yeah.
And there's a grasping of I want to be known, I want to be seen, I want you to see me, I need to prove. And it's like as soon as you find yourself in that desperate energy, you left yourself behind. And in that you have really nothing to offer them, but especially because you're not offering it to yourself.
Exactly. Precisely because of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
And
so much
good.
energy being spent on this, that, like, going back to where people ask me all the time, oh my God, how do you have so much energy? I don't have any more or less energy than any other human walking the planet. All I've done is stopped wasting so much of it on trying to get fucked or trying to prove myself to someone, or and all of these things happen for me. But it's like goes back to what you resist persists, right? If I'm resisting not connecting with the amount of women that I want to, I'm literally creating that for myself because I'm resisting it. It's becoming my story. Or if I'm needing to be held, or if I'm needing anything outside of myself and I'm taking actions to try to cause that to happen, that's a lot of energy to be spent if it's coming from a need outside of myself,
Yeah.
you know?
It's so interesting how because there's a truth around being a child and needing a certain level of co-regulation to learn how to regulate yourself. And there's a cognitive piece and there's an experiential piece around it.
Mm-hmm.
We do need another physical body to love on us and hold us when we're children. When we are
Yes.
dysregulated, to know that we can return to safety, a parasympathetic state, to actually feel like we're safe in the world and we don't have to be hypervigilant, making
Right.
sure that our next need is going to be met. That way, you grow into an adult that doesn't have to be grasping, manipulative, and constantly strategizing to get their needs met. And
Mm-hmm.
so I know it because I fell into those relationships because my needs were not met a lot in childhood. And so I had to learn that that was a running empty spaces that I was just desperately trying to fill growing
Mm-hmm.
up. And yeah, the space that I hold with myself around my own graspiness is with a lot more compassion now, and breath and just love. Like you said, like we have to be able to meet it ourselves and go, oh, I'm outsourcing this. That awareness alone changes everything for you,
Changes
because
everything.
it's
Yeah.
necessarily, you don't just heal and just like, I don't need anything anymore. It's like, no, like, where does that energy come from? It's like, it comes from awareness and intentionally returning to the self. When I find myself any moment of grasping, being like, but I wanted it to happen. It's like, ooh, what's going on here? What's
Yeah.
going on? I'm here. I'm here. I got you. Like, everything is good. Everything is good. Like, like feeling the little one that wants to like panic and just like holding that little one. The better we become at holding that little one, the more capacity we have for everything, the discomfort of our emotions, like all of it. Like, I guess we're growing in capacity constantly for our discomfort so that more pleasure can be felt.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when I think about you, like in the energy, how do you have this energy? You have grown in capacity to hold more of your discomfort so that you can hold more responsibility in creating energy and creating anything in the world. If
Right.
you were very
Yeah.
easily triggered, very, like not an easy person to create with because you did not have a capacity, you couldn't create the bigger things in the world unless
Yeah.
you were a tyrant, which a lot of people are.
Yeah. You're
But then
creating
they
for, but
find
that's not fulfilling.
that's not fulfilling, and then they
Yeah.
find people who have enough lack of self-worth to be part of those teams. It's like
Yeah.
energy matches energy, and we can feel that from miles away.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody online, you're like, that's a tyrant, and it's like,
Yeah.
and you see who's working for them, you're like, yeah, none of them have self-worth, and they're
Yeah.
all
That's
tyrants
not
in the name.
that's not a vibration I want to be part of, or I don't want that a part of what I'm doing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it shows up in like a contraction energy. There's so
Yeah.
much when people are like, well, how do you know if this person or that person? The biggest work that I do is about not gaslighting, like really coming back to the body and reassuring people that they know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It is tricky when you come from so much trauma because yes, there is something about pushing yourself past the thing that you is so convinced you're not going to get what you want, or that but at the cost of what? Bypassing your nervous system and pushing you through something doesn't make you more confident at getting it. It just makes you like feel, yes, it could break the pattern a little bit and be like, oh, okay, I'm safe. I went and did the thing and I didn't die. New information. That's
Yeah.
important. Jump
Yeah.
off the cliff. I survived
Depending on the
it.
situation. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So starting
Yeah.
safely, slowly, like go tell somebody they're beautiful today, somebody that
Yeah.
really, like I have a few of the guys that I work with that are like just starting that process and with themselves. And then, their homework is to tell somebody in an attuned way, uh,
Yeah.
you know, that they're beautiful, and then
Yeah.
see what happens to their body. And when that happens to that person and to them, can they sense that they just opened them or did they close? And
Yeah. Yeah. I love yeah, little tests that you can create for yourself just to stretch your nervous system. I would say like life happens, growth happens right at or just outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is how to experience life. This is how I love experiencing life.
It's really
And I
my
want
favorite.
to, yeah, I want to mention one thing that you said a little bit ago about being able to hold like the things that happen in your past and your traumas and stuff and discovering and be able to hold the capacity for those things, which causes you to hold. So holding on to a lot is actually, so this is how I relate to integration, is that if integration is being done fully, you actually are holding on to less, which
Right. Oh, when I
frees
say
up
hold
energy.
capacities, your
Yeah,
holding capacity is that you're not, I agree with you. I think just to rephrase, and before you go
yeah,
into the,
yeah,
what
yeah.
I meant is your holding capacity is your ability for things to come into your field that would have been extremely overwhelming because you
Yeah,
have been stretched. You're not like, you're like,
yeah,
oh, I know this one. I don't have to
yeah,
get taken out right now. I
yeah,
have
yeah.
the capacity to hold, but I'm not
Got it. Yeah,
holding on to
holding
things.
on. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, but
yeah.
tell me a little bit more about this, about the letting go process and the
Well, so, and this is the part going back to where we talked about a little bit ago, how there's I see a big missing in the spiritual community, the consciousness journey, whatever you want to call it, is in this, again, going back to what you said about drinking ayahuasca. First of all, I am a very big supporter proponent of, it's been a very big part of my journey, plant medicine. And I also talk about how people just get in this spiral of thinking plant medicines are just are doing all the healing for them. No, they're just showing us, right?
yeah, they literally just show you your message,
Yeah.
actually.
And so you discover deeper layers of yourself because it shows you deeper layers of yourself. And there's now a bigger awareness. Okay, now there's a bigger awareness I have of myself. This happened that caused me to be this way. That happened to cause me to be that way. And I have all
Mm-hmm.
these things I'm holding on to.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in my field, this bigger awareness of have with myself. And I'm also like, look at my arms. I'm holding on to all of this. There's so much more I'm holding on to. And if you look at what this is, they're all stories.
Yes.
They're all stories of what happened to me in the past that caused me to be a specific way now.
Where I decided about myself because of it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even if I become aware of it and I choose, okay, that happened and I'm not going to let that control my life anymore. Well,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? I'm still holding on to the story. And most, probably 99.9% of the time, there's another person that was involved in that same story.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not willing to bring it up or address it with them. So they also are holding on to their version of that story.
Right.
So the energy of that story between the two people still exists. And that's
Mm-hmm.
called a block. It's called an energetic block.
100%.
And this is what I think most people, and how do most people break through energetic blocks and stuff like that? We do a lot of breath work. We do
Everything.
yoga, dancing. Yes, all of
It
these things.
works. It really works. I mean, it moves
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these things play a very beautiful role. And the energy that's still being held onto of that story is kind of continue to be a block unless we actually walk through the fire, do the most terrifying piece and bring it up. Let's not be ashamed and fearful of like, let's clear it out. I love you so much and I love me so much that let's pull this back out from under the rug and stop pretending like we're past it because it was in the past. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
clear it out because I know your truth about what happened and my truth about what happened are very different. And let's hear each other out, get it complete, and then move on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is, I think, the most important thing that's not being done
Mm-hmm.
out there. And again, all of these things work. Absolutely, 100% agree with you.
Yeah. There's been a big wave of like awareness. I mean, like just talking about plant medicine, I mean, it's just been like the last maybe 15 years, maybe the last 10 years has become really popular.
Yeah,
And integration is a new understanding of like actually we're still just sitting in our bullshit until you integrate it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and that is integration is the most terrifying part, because ayahuasca is your mother telling you stop drinking yourself to death. That's
Yeah.
ayahuasca,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Exactly.
you, please,
Yeah.
I love you, you know, like that's a cry for help. It's like the showing you that like you're the temple, and then integration is the thing that you're avoiding. And
Yeah.
if for anybody watching this, like I was full of shit in that part of self-discovery for a long time. I was just
Hmm.
like escaping in the same way I was escaping in many other ways. I was escaping through the journey of plant medicine. But then, of course, the plant medicine can be so brutal because you're just like, you're shown with such an intensity the truth that you kind of come out of it almost like righteous, like be like,
Yeah.
I know, I get it.
Yeah.
And then for like, you know, for a couple of weeks or so, you're in this like, I understand. And it's like, well, what does that mean with that relationship and with the way that you feel in that job? And what does it mean with that habit? And
Right.
in your reactions and the looping stories and who you haven't said sorry to or forgiven,
Yeah. Or
you know?
forgiven. Yeah. Or said, fuck you. Like these things, all of these things are
Exactly. It's
important.
just all of it.
Yeah. All of it.
Journey is so nuanced and so individual, and it's all about self-love.
Yeah.
All about self-love. And
Yeah.
self-love is like, again, a nuanced space of how do you deeply honor yourself,
Yeah. This is the
which then
problem.
means the whole,
What's that? Say that.
which also means honoring the whole, you know?
Yeah. There's a term I have heard a lot of, and I think there's a whole, I don't know if people are teaching this or where it comes from, but I've heard the term parts work and
Parts.
parts work. And yeah, I get it. It's beautiful. I'm sure it's very helpful, but it's not the full story. Like parts work, which is the seemingly to me is like the discovery phase of like why there's all these different parts of me, and here's
Mhm.
why this part of me, my inner child is this way, and my adolescent self is this way, and my
Mhm.
adult self is that way. That's part learning all the different parts of me,
Yeah.
and this is where people are not integrating this awareness. They're just accepting that, oh, my inner child is that way, and so that's a part of me, and
Yes.
that's a fixed way of me now. And
Yes.
like, no, no, there's
And
another
there's a lot of
option.
pride and protections there.
There's a lot of pride, yes. And there's a lot of people, actually healers, that are offering beautiful healing modalities that are actually coming from this place, taking on the story that I'm a fixed way of being, even though I've extrapolated it out and called it parts work. This is how I am here, and I need to embrace that part of me. This is how I am here, and I'm embracing that part of me.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's another step.
There's a ceiling
That,
there.
yeah,
There's
there's
a
a ceiling. Yeah.
I keep looking at my parts. There's, internal family systems, IFS.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of where I've been trained under. And I help my clients understand. There's this book, it's beautiful. It's called No Bad Parts.
Yeah.
So sweet. And it just talks
Yeah.
about just all these parts that people
Yeah.
have been convinced of, and righteously so. Like I understand that, shit happens when you're too young to understand, and then you have these protectors that get formed to survive
Yes.
your outcome and like survive the circumstances. But the thing, and I keep using this phrase which I learned many years ago, and it stays with people just like it stays with me. The strategy that helped you survive yesterday is not the one that helps you connect today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you had protectors. If you can unpack and understand how protectors work and how they're protecting your parts, but they're
Mm.
actually no bad parts, then you can actually dismantle yourself and just be like, oh, wait, I'm a shifting being. I am a shape shifting being who's constantly trying to understand who and what she is and where she is. And
Yeah.
where I am is not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Where I
Mm-hmm.
am in my journey is not defining of who I am.
Yeah.
I used to be crazy, I
Me too.
crazy. Yeah, be crazy.
I was a
Uh,
righteous motherfucker when I was young.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of love in me and a lot of fun, but like, yeah, there was,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of triggers and incoherence, and Now I'm the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am in an opposite place of where I used to be, and is not who I am either. It's
Yeah.
just it's a location,
Yeah.
and I'm continuing to shift that location. I think that permission for people who are healing trauma can be the hopeful invitation for their next level, but there
Mm,
has to be enough desire to leave their misery.
yeah.
Some people are just like in the sauce of misery and just they want company there, and they just
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
you to just tell them that for them, they're just always going to be there, and just like they just want to be felt there. Sometimes I help people like feel really like in there, like, oh, let's just go into how little you are, how poor you are, and how, and like let's just like, can you collapse into it fully?
Yeah.
So you're so sick of being that collapse that you come out and like, okay, actually, I'm just gonna expand now. You know?
Mm, hmm.
Okay, I'm done being poor me. And
Yeah.
actually, I encourage people to feel like you're actually not always contracted. Can you just sense that when you go like, I'm just nothing and nobody wants me, and then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna go drink a glass of water and like eat something really yummy or masturbate or go get the sun on my face. I'm like, you know exactly what you want.
Yeah.
You're not always in your poor me. Can
Right.
you count that in as the person who knows how to change location?
Yeah.
Do a bunch of those more and stop telling yourself the looping story that nothing good is coming for you because you know exactly how to go do the good thing,
Right. Yeah.
you
It's like
know?
allowing themselves to feel that for a second and like honor it and get out of the way. So then there's a
Yeah.
clearing to then go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honor the little one that's like, I'm never gonna get okay. I'm
Yeah.
listening to the little one in the room, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So much.
So, what would you say? One of the things that I am committed to having an impact for is men and how we are operating in the world, creating men that rephrase. I'm committed to helping create men who are hold the level and size of container that women are looking for to feel completely, how do I want to say this? So that complete flow can occur.
Mm.
So there's complete vulnerability, complete blasted open vulnerability without any of the acting or need or anything. What are some of the things that are in the way, like from the feminine viewpoint, that are like the big missings or things that are in the way from men being that right now?
We've touched on some already. Of course, we've been talking about it,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
so the fear of rejection, the fear that if they get rejected or get a feedback or an adjustment from the feminine, it will be so brutal that they just avoid it at all costs. And when it
Hmm.
comes, it collapses them out of curiosity and staying power.
Yeah.
So to be able to just face constructive feedback from a woman who you are trying to penetrate with your direction, affection, connection needs, your cock in any capacity. And when she gives you feedback on how you're coming at her with any lack of presence or misattunement, can you just let the pride
Hold it.
pass you and take a moment and breathe and self-regulate and go
Yeah.
and validate her? Yeah, I can see how you
Oh, I
felt that.
didn't realize. I didn't see that side. See it from that side. Oh, yeah, I can see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that is huge. Um,
Yeah.
and for, but then you're asking me a question that has a lot to do with to even to arrive at that capacity, the
Yes.
journey for a man. Um, they have to respect the feminine inside of them,
Hmm.
which then means respecting the incoherent, illogical feminine of the world
Yeah.
and the wisdom
Yeah.
and how it comes through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And which is the feminine
The
side.
incoherent, illogical feminine inside of.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
feminine is incoherent and illogical and it's
Yeah.
inconvenient.
Yeah.
It's
It's a bit
to
chaotic, which is
it's so
beautiful.
chaotic. It's so
Yeah.
chaotic. Whether men have it inside of them, is they're constantly being like, "This is incoherent. This is,"
Yeah.
but
They're
then it
resistant
runs
to
the
it.
show. It
Yeah.
runs the you know,
Yeah.
and you think
Totally.
it's the masculine. Is no. If you are a hyper reactive man, your unheard feminine is running the show.
Hmm.
If you are a emotionally capable, intelligent man who has mastered his reactions and ability to sit and stay in power is a man who listens to his feminine as not as convenient, even though it's illogical, even though it's irrational. And so it is able to listen to its own emotional feedback and give it space so that it can take action in the world from his masculine.
Yeah.
So if you're asking me what it is that's missing, is that.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
And for the feminine, when you say that's your commitment, my commitment is to continue creating the marriage of my own feminine and masculine and listening to the masculine that is constantly showing me and adjusting my feminine, my incoherent feminine, so that I can show up with more clarity in the world. And not emotionally reactive, not attacking, not testing in a way that can destroy the masculine, but in a way that can really bring them, like hold the little one, but also bring the king out with responsibility.
Yeah.
Because women can literally, like, we are the fiendess. We can like fucking destroy a man, you know? And some women get off on it because they've been so victimized.
They do. Unawaringly.
Yeah, and sometimes very
I know
aware.
women that are sometimes very aware, sometimes not aware at all. But like
women will
literally
test and castrate, you know?
Yeah, they'll
and we have
dominate.
to
They're out to
test.
dominate men. Yeah.
Yes, and we have to test to find out if you have the wherewithal to multiply you and to raise children into the future.
To multiply you, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, like, so you came and you're like, I want to be worthy of being multiplied. I want to leave out my legacy on this planet. So for that, you need to prove yourself to a woman that you find worthy for yourself, and hopefully she finds you worthy in all the ways that you've developed yourself.
Yeah.
So that she goes, I will carry out your legacy, put your seed in me. And for that is, well, how attuned are you to yourself, to your feminine, to her, so that she feels that she can continue saying yes to you and open her legs and open her mind and open her oracle wisdom and give it to you in feedback so that you can continue leading her into the physical world and you do the dance. And that's a sacred union. So like, it's really a constant listening and on both ends.
A constant listening and attunement. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And from that place you take action. And when there's like and you just slow down. What just happened? Oh, wait. Whew, I'm panicking. Let's take a breath. I'm about to get proud with you. Bring some humor into it. Like,
yeah.
You know, like whatever it is that you need, but just can we slow down here and feel what just got out of misattunement instead of pretending that it didn't? And then like, you're not respecting me. And like, well, you're not letting me work. It's like, okay, can we slow down? You know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The triggering is what causes that. So like the real question is how to remove the triggers that cause like.
Yeah. And it's not that you don't let yourself go into it, but can you recognize when whatever you went into created a little bit of like, now we're not close. And then can we build the bridge again and go, okay, hey,
that
was scary for both of us. Like, I can see how that was scary, my reaction, and like, or the way that I just gave you feedback, I can see I touched something in you as a man, and I just, this is what it made me feel, and this is like, ideally, this is how you receive it and what you understand from it. What I would want you to understand from my feedback is, and what I actually want, the reason why I gave it to you is because I want to feel closer to you.
Exactly.
Because oftentimes we're giving feedback as women, and the men receive it as like, oh, you just wanted to turn me down and judge me. But what we want, the end goal is, I want to continue opening to you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving you feedback. Is something just close.
Right. Yeah. And it's the energy behind how it's given is important.
The grace,
and it's and it's a co-creation too. It's like both sides, when both sides can be open to reflection,
respect,
and attunement. Yeah.
Nonviolent communication.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you that. So my ex and I, we had to stay in communication for different, like, various reasons in a beautiful way, but there was a realization that, like, okay, we're not going to continue dating, and because we had so much enmeshed life-wise, we had to continue communicating, and we have so much common respect with each other that when something bothered the other, we're not having sex anymore, we don't live together, we don't see each other, but when we go into we would go into certain conflict, and it felt like we were having sex because we did conflict so well. And it was just like, oh my God, I almost get off on the conflict because it was like,
Yeah.
wow, we're connecting, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's like energetic sex.
Yes, exactly. Because
Without
like
the kind of
he
without
could bring,
penetration. Yeah.
yes, he could bring the sword so cleanly, and I could really receive it finally without
Yeah.
collapsing, and vice versa. It was just like, oh my God, thank God. Like
Yeah.
conflict now, you know?
Yeah. It's incredible what's possible through
So
love for self,
yes,
self-awareness, and then communication. Oh my God.
it's everything. It's what's
Everything. It's
missing.
everything.
It's
It's
everything.
what's missing. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's our individual work. We have to want it more than anything for
Hmm.
ourselves, and it will just manifest in the world. If you are pursuing to know yourself there and to become a Jedi are your own reactions,
Yeah.
energetic input and output. Like if you are really looking, you will become amazing at relating and you will
Hmm.
change your field and the world around you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like I'll say too, like try to always stand in observer role.
Yes.
Observe and respond.
Hmm.
Observe and respond instead of this is happening and react.
Yes.
What's happening and then react. Like
Yes.
even in the face of conflict, stand in observation, even
Yes.
from yourself.
That's it. The observer of the observer.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Observe everything, recognize that everyone's having their own reality or perspective or truth about every situation, which helps you stand in that observer role and
Hmm.
honor every single one. There's all these different perspectives taking place. Honor all of them because all of them are just as right or wrong as all the others. So
Hmm.
I always, that's one thing I talk about. There's no such thing as right or wrong.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
made up
I see that.
concepts.
Yeah.
And it just puts you in a vibration of being able to stay present
Hmm.
and actually cause transformation for yourself and others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you don't want, if the life that you are living is not the life that you want, it doesn't feel good, that is, it's because of you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Nobody's going to save you. I mean,
Yeah.
circumstantially, you can like come out of a lot of chaos and like explain to yourself, okay, this is why I've arrived here, but then it's up to you. So like,
Yeah.
what life do you want to create next? And it's
Yeah.
one thought at a time, one action at a time. What is your next self-loving action that will get you to remember that you're not separate from the whole, that you are affected by and affecting? And it's like, what is the next self-loving action?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
This is like, it's like such a great like way to like cap off our thoughts around all the topics, all the things we've covered today.
Yes, yes.
Um, I do want to ask you, actually, first, is there any other topics that you wanted to like cover in this conversation that we
I
haven't
don't
yet?
think so. I think that we've covered
Yeah.
amazing ones. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure that we'll carry more conversations on, with the things that
absolutely.
we're
Yeah,
creating. And
yeah. And then I also want to do, I would love to do deep dives into specific topics with
yeah,
you
we definitely
in
can.
a podcast format. I think that would be amazing. And then also, what would you say that your brilliance, your genius, your superpower is
So
that you
interesting.
offer to the world, to your clients, to yourself?
There's a book called The Big Leap, and in it they talk about your zone of genius and your zone of excellence, and your zone of excellence first, and your zone of genius. And the zone of excellence is where you kind of show up in magic to the world and in service to the world, but it's like something that you do. And I would say it's so interesting, but the zone of genius is going to feel like the thing that you do actually in yourself is an embodiment that is not necessarily in service to the world, but because you're so embodied there, that when you do it, it is your truest service to the world.
Yeah,
And I have
yeah,
yet to really unlock that in a more public way, my zone of genius. Most people think my zone of genius is what I'm already doing, my dharma, which is the way that I help people really feel seen, unashamed, fully accepted as they are, to
Yeah.
tap into fully accepting like the craziest thing they thought were the most horrible parts of themselves. All of a sudden they're like, what? I can accept these things? So like healing people and helping
I
them tap.
love how, yeah, I love, sorry to cut you off real quick. I have loved how you talk about so freely about sex and intimacy and the terms you use. It's like given me permission and actually shown me how, wow, and maybe still have a little bit of shame around being that open, probably because I'm a man and I question how
You don't want
open
to
I
be,
can be about those things.
yeah, to not be inappropriate, and you want to be attuned
Yeah,
to how appropriate you are.
exactly,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
same.
So
There's a part of me that like likes bringing a shock factor, but that used to be very misattuned, and
me
now
too, and I've loved it. So I wanted to acknowledge you for that.
and for now, thank you so much. I really appreciate
Yeah.
that. I now it comes. I've done so much nervous system work and continue to, and
Mhm.
so I'm always reading the field around what I'm going to say will be actually received in
Yeah.
the field of how. Because, okay, so I'm sensing people's bodies and their bellies and whether they're opening or closing to me. I'm just constantly sensing. And
Yeah.
so the speaking of sex, actually, I know whenever I just bring up the idea, if it's like my body opens or closes, because I know what your body is opening and closing already
Yeah.
energetically.
Yeah.
So I bring it up. Most of the time it's received the way that you just said. They were like, oh my God, like excitement and permission versus like, she's so inappropriate. Like there's none of that anymore.
None of that.
So
Yeah.
it
Nor should
feels
you care if, yeah.
yeah, but the point for me always now is to invite the little one that is kind of like unedited and unhinged,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
misattuned, actually very sensitive to the field and that wants to be sensed and can sense others. That's the one
Yeah.
that I want to invite out of people. And I do it by bringing mine to the field. And I do
Yes.
it by giving her permission to talk about pleasure, to talk about, to speak about body parts in a very free way, to, and just be like this is what is. And I appreciate the feedback in that. I do think that the zone of genius could be that I unshame people, but what I had got reflected on, and I felt really deeply innately in me, my zone of genius is my dance.
Mm.
So when I dance, which I've shared some in social media, but not at all. It happens in very specific moments where the right music is playing, and I've been dancing for a little while, and all of a sudden something happens because of where I have been dancing, like going into with myself, and then the kind of music, and then something happens that I just kind of, it's like I catch flight. And
The energy takes
yeah,
over
and
you.
what happens with my body,
Yeah.
literally the what happens with people
Yeah.
when they're watching, like people drop into a level of awe and like it's like the embodiment of what I'm allowing my body to do
Yeah.
makes people go into like full chills and turn on and like what the fuck, like how, and I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking. So I would say that's my zone of genius, but then my zone of
Amazing. Yeah.
excellence is unshaming people of being
Yeah.
human.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unshaming them.
unshaming them.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
thank you for those questions. Yeah.
So that's how I cap off all of my podcast episodes with regard to the Industry Alchemist podcast that I've had for 3+ years and for like
Amazing.
real estate business that I'm transforming right now into name change, rebrand everything because it's more conversations like this that are just more about topics being of service in this way.
Hmm.
And I love that question. Love
Yeah,
people's answers to that question.
yeah, it gives them permission to even sense it. Like, do I even know where my zone of
Yeah,
excellence is? You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Yeah, I really like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to talk
Would you
more
say?
about your comment you made around it, which was something around it. You're not clear on your public facing one. I want to like in private or whatever. I want to dig in a little further.
Well, it's more. No, I do dance. I do dance some. It's just
Okay.
because it takes certain level of like doing it for a while and the kind of music that is playing. Like, it's just like I can only do so much on Instagram, and I dance a little bit. There's been videos where I
Yeah.
share my dancing where people are like, "What the fuck was that?" And I get the
Yeah.
feedback like, something opens in people who are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, okay, yeah, the thing happened in that video. And
Yes. Okay. So
we're
you
just
have
like, there's
captured
just
it,
like
but
a, you know what it is? It's similar to how I talk about sex. It's like I'm like talking, like there's this thing that I'm doing, and all of a sudden I just bring this thing, and then people are like, whoa,
yeah,
whoa, something
yeah,
just happened because of the way that you just said that. I'm like, yeah. So it's the same with dance where I'm like, I'm talking about I'm doing a dance, but just the way that I kind of threw myself at it.
yeah,
People go,
yeah.
holy fuck. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of like letting myself be the animal.
Yeah, it's like you're allowing yourself to be such a clear channel for that energy to flow through you, and then it's
And
like
it,
very
yes,
magnetic.
and it's
Like,
godly and
yeah,
it's animalistic
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
completely unedited.
yes,
And because I'm not editing it, it doesn't come out clunky. It's
right,
not, so not through, if I'm communicating something, but the dancing part is like,
yeah,
there's something very like, this is like, how is your body? Why did I just feel that just watching you? You know?
yeah, yeah,
It's like, it drops people into their heart, into their cocks, into their pussies, and like, they're just like, into their
yeah,
hips. And it's just like, holy fuck, I just like felt alive. And it's
yeah.
like, it's so beautiful, you know?
Would you
And I
call that a tantric energy, or would you call it
I
leaning
could,
energy?
yeah, I could definitely say it's like an invitation. The Kundalini rises in a
Yeah,
moment, and it's like,
yeah,
wow, like the body just recognized my energy movement and the way that I let it through me made something in them go, oh, my body could do that too. I need to
yeah,
find it. I want to find
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. And so many people ask me if I could teach dance, and I'm like, yeah, I can teach you to feel the thing and to go into it. And I've done it in like retreats and stuff, you know,
yeah,
but not like in like a daily or like a weekly class. Like,
yeah, yeah. Well, let's do it. Let's put a retreat together in Panama. I'm
I'm
like,
so down.
yeah, this is one of the things that I just wrote on my whiteboard 2 weeks ago. This place that I live is so fucking perfect for like, I don't want to do massive retreats. I want to
No,
do
no,
like
no.
super targeted 10 to 20 people
Yeah,
tops
it's perfect. Those are perfect.
retreats for specific things. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a co-host for people that want to come and share and teach their magic.
Yes.
And I'm going to be a co-host because this place is so perfect for it.
Oh
And
my
there's
God, it's
so
so much
much.
fun.
Oh
It's so
my
much
God,
fun. It's
let's
adult
do it.
camp. It's
Adult
adult camp.
camp. Yeah, yeah,
It's the funnest thing. Retreats are so fun.
yeah, they are. And yeah, let's try to do it this, I guess it's summer here, but it's winter everywhere else right now.
Yeah. When,
Let's try to
I
pull
mean,
this off in the next few months. I would love that.
wait, is the place built? It's like, how,
So,
tell me about this.
oh, you mean my project?
Yeah, your project is not built yet.
It's starting construction next month.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this,
Like just
the
renting
the
us. Where,
the town that I live. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I already have like there's large villas,
Okay, perfect.
there's
Like
so
anything like
many.
that.
Yeah, we'll create it for specific. My plan is to create it for specific retreats, and everything exists here already. And I'll
Okay,
just,
perfect.
okay, there's this many people, we're gonna go here, and this is what we're gonna like, that sort
Okay,
of
you
thing.
and I need to sit down after this podcast and talk about
Yeah,
this. We'll
let's
do
do
this.
it.
We'll do this.
Okay.
We'll ground on this idea because it will be amazing.
Yes, it would be beautiful. Yeah.
Gosh, I'm
Perfect.
so grateful for you recognizing, yeah, my energy to, I feel so seen by you, and it feels really good that you saw something like, let's connect.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, man, I want to stand behind people that have some big contribution magic to share with the world. Like I'm gonna do what I can to spread that because that's also what I'm up to. So
Yeah, it feels really good for you to share your channel. Like you've been like, come, let's, I want to have this conversation with you. To
yeah.
respond to it. It feels very feminine to be able to respond to your invitation.
Yeah.
And I
Cool.
really appreciate that.
That's
Yeah.
what one of my geniuses. I wouldn't say it's my superpower, although it is one, but one of my geniuses that I help people with is a human relation
Hmm.
or communication.
Hmm.
And so I want to, come up with, and the easiest way for people to get it is like what the example you brought up about like the woman wants to give feedback. How can the
Hmm.
man respond to that? And I
Hmm.
have so many examples of that for myself. And the best way to do that right now, unless I can really dig in and work, one on one with someone, is just give examples of how I would respond.
Hmm.
you know, oh
Hmm.
my God, I didn't see that side of it. Thank you for sharing that. And then I'm choosing whether I want to hold that for myself or not, but it's not a
Right.
reaction.
Exactly. It's not
Yeah.
anything about
So
your identity, you know? It's like,
yeah,
it doesn't have to be
exactly.
anything about who you are. It's like,
Right.
something got touched and I can
Right.
validate that. And it's good. And it creates the
Yeah.
bridge again, you know?
It creates the bridging. Yeah, which is probably what you kind of picked up on, which had you accept this invitation. And
Yes,
so it's beautiful.
absolutely.
Start to something beautiful. So thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
That's a wrap on the Alchemist Archive. If you feel inspired, don't waste that. Go create something extraordinary.